Me and my friends were having an in-depth philosophical discussion today about like the meaning of life and crap like that. We're talking about Descartes, who not only said I think therefore I am, but said that we're all like having our own projection of life given to us by demons in other worlds, which now that I think about it makes a lot of sense, because you ever look at someone and like you're not consciously aware that they're thinking, and you're seeing everything through your own perspective, and you have your own ideas on everything. In a world that we all existed in and all work together, you think that because of the way society is, that we'd all be like, that we'd all, it would be easier to grasp the concept of thought. Like, because technically we don't know what thought is. Well, we kind of, well, you know what I mean. Like, we do, but we don't. And then, like, I think therefore I am. Even if you're not consciously aware that you're thinking, you're always thinking when you, like, are thinking about it, which sounds really weird because I just said think like 7 times in one sentence. But when you think about it, you're always thinking, whether or not you're conscious of it. Like, I know those techniques where people say, like, clear your mind of all thoughts, but subconsciously you're still thinking. Like, every way you think about it, that I think therefore I am is proven. Except in the case of, like, people who are in a coma and stuff like that, like, they don't have conscious thought, but they still physically exist. So what's that? Is that not an existence? I'm really confused right now. And then that leads me into the thought of what is nothingness? What is there when you're not thinking? What was there when there was no universe before the Big Bang? And how did the Big Bang happen if there was no matter in the universe to begin with? It's all very confusing, especially when you're an atheist and don't have, like, you can't say, oh, well, God did it. Well, I'm not an atheist, but I don't believe in God. Believe in the devil, believe in the Lord of Purgatory. I don't believe that there could be a as perfect essence as people believe God to be, because no being is perfect. And then people are going to leave comments on this and saying, oh, well, God isn't perfect. Well, he's not, obviously, if you read the Bible, which I have, just trying to figure out, like, why I don't believe in that, but, like, notice the devil was always right in those stories. I'm going to get so many hate comments on this, but if God didn't want Adam and Eve to eat the fruit on that tree, then why did he put the tree there? And then people are going to say, well, oh, because God trusted them and knew and thought that they wouldn't eat the fruit. But then, if God created everything, then why was there evil? And then people are going to say, oh, well, the devil was there while God was there. But no, he wasn't. Wasn't the devil one of God's angels in the beginning? Wasn't Satan one of God's angels that, like, did something wrong, so he got, like, kicked out of heaven? You see, that's why I think of heaven as a country club. Because he got kicked out of the country club for breaking one of the rules of heaven, you see? And it's true, like I said before, I don't believe in God. But because the way I've seen it, the way I've been taught about it in church and Sunday school and everything, is that God is a perfect being. And that God created everything. But then, you think about it, and if God created everything and God loved us all, then why are there disabled people? Why are there people like me, people who are dyslexic, people with abusive parents, people dying, people getting murdered, war, divorce, pain, suffering, everything? And then people are going to say, well, it's the devil, but God created the devil. And it's God's fault that we're not in the Garden of Eden, if there is a God. But it's his fault that we're not there, because if God knows all, then he knew that they were going to take the fruit, so why did he put it there? And then, even if there is a God, and even if I believe that there is a being like God. But, I don't know, because I find God to be the bad guy in all of this, because I'm just saying, my life and some of my friends' lives would not be like this if there was God. That's all I'm saying, because if there is a God, I'm not liking him right now. Fucked up so many lives, if he did. And even if it's not him directly, it's him through a chain of events. Like, this is why I got kicked out of CCD, because I actually did get kicked out of Sunday school. And, for talking like this. I got kicked out of church school. Now, that is an accomplishment, my friends, but... Because I think they kicked me out because we had this circle of, like, people, and we all sat around, and we were like, well, why do you have faith in God? I said I didn't, and they kicked me out. Like, I don't get, like, people's theories. I guess, like, people with good lives, well, people with bad lives believe in God, too. Like, I'm totally all for, like, freedom of religion and freedom of speech and stuff, and everyone can think the way they want, and that's okay, because that's my projection of the universe that may not exist. But, like, I know that people with bad lives believe in God and look to God for, like, guidance and stuff, but I guess it's just my pessimistic views that led me to realize that well, and what are the chances of there even being, like, I believe that there is a devil and that there is a Lord of Purgatory, like I've said before, but, like, how could there be someone as perfect as God, and you always have to do the right thing to go to heaven, and you always have to, like, pray to God and ask him for forgiveness of sin? That doesn't make sense. That's totally hypocritical. Then pretty much everyone is going to hell when you think about it that way, because all you people out there that go to confession and know what confession is, you know that you have not confessed all your sins. Meaning that if you did something bad and you don't want to tell the priest that during confession that you were going to hell. Well, not necessarily, but then, well, we're all sinners. But then that doesn't make sense, because how can we go to heaven? Because isn't heaven the place for, like, people who, like, confess all their sins and then therefore aren't sinners, right? Isn't that what that is? Maybe I have a twisted version of heaven, but heaven's not looking like a nice place, because I've never met one person who, like, actually confesses their sins at, like, confession and stuff like you're supposed to. Like, I have friends that are totally Christian. Like, my best friends are, like, strong Christian believers, and they know that, like, I don't know them about their view of heaven and stuff, but even though they believe in the Christian religion and, like, go to church and believe in God, they all say, like, that's where I'm probably getting these ideas from, because they all say that they don't think that God is the right way. Maybe that's just by town, but they all say that they don't think that God is the right path because God created evil. He did. No matter how many ways you look at it, do not leave comments on this video saying that God did not create evil, because he did, so just shut the fuck up. Wouldn't it be, I'm not Satanist, okay? But I do believe in the devil, and I think that the devil has the right to do what he does in every prospect. In any way you look at it, like, everyone has a right to do what they do, because I'm a believer in democracy and freedom, and everyone has the right to everything. But, like, when you think about it, isn't God the bad guy? Because he created the devil in the first place. If you don't agree with the devil's doings, then when you think about it, it's God's fault, so don't blame him. And then the Lord of Purgatory is cool, too. The Lord of Entropy. And everyone's saying, I know you're all thinking, oh, well, isn't Purgatory Earth? No, it's not, my friends, because I know. Purgatory is actually an infinite plane of existence for people that don't want to go to heaven or hell, like people like me. Because I don't want to be in a country club for the rest of my afterlife. And no offense, Kale, but I'm not a big fan of hell, because it's either freezing or burning, and that's not fun. While Purgatory has a plane where everyone can just be happy in the afterlife. Like, I know I'm sounding really confused right now, but I'm not, because I know what I'm thinking. It's just hard to explain. But, in a way, I also don't believe in the afterlife, because, well, I do, because I believe in the soul. I believe in the afterlife, but, like, it's hard to conceive. It's hard to think about. Especially because I find that every theory is 50-50. It could be real or it could be false. There's no weighted percentage of what's real and what's not. So